you said you were touched when you were younger, and you felt like that was the reason why you were gay.
I was about 7 or 8. And, my grandma, she was like the sweetest person ever. She's let all of our family like stay with us. Like when they had problems at their own home, she's let them stay with us. So I had a cousin stay with us. So like I said, I was like 7, 8 years old. So like late, around like midnight or so, like he would like sneak into my room. And I was like, what he want? It's like late. I don't think about getting up for school in the morning. So he just come in, he'll pull my pants down, touch on me, and then he would penetrate me.
What's up? What's up? This is the ChoppedByT podcast where we get real, raw, authentic conversations. I'm your host, T. And to the right of me, we got my brother, my dear brother, the honorable, the incomparable TJ. Tell him what's up, TJ.
What's going on?
TJ, I want to get right into it.
Let's do it.
You said something on I think it was the last episode you did where you said, and it was quick, you said you were touched when you were younger and you felt like that was the reason why you were gay, right?
Correct.
And you said it so quick, and at first I wanted to dive into it on the episode, but I feel like a topic like that, if you were willing to talk about it, deserved its own actual, episode.
Most definitely.
And like I said, I want to get right into it. I wanted to ask you, like, start from the beginning, everything leading up to it. How did all of that happen?
I know I was about 7 or 8. And, my grandma, she was like the sweetest person ever. She's let all of our family like stay with us. Like when they had problems at their own home, she's let them stay with us. So I had a cousin stay with us. So like I said, I was like 7, 8 years old. So like late, around like midnight or so, like he would like sneak into my room. And I was like, what he want? It's like late. I don't think about getting up for school in the morning. So he just come in, he'll pull my pants down, touch on me, and then he would penetrate me. So me being that young, I wasn't thinking like nothing of it. I didn't know what sex was, nothing like that. So it was kind of weird at first. I'm like, this is my cousin. It's hurting. Like I'm crying at the same time. So I'm like, do he know what he doing? Because he's considerably older than me, about 6 or 7 years older than me. So to me, I feel like you know what you're doing at this point.
Right.
You know you're violating me at this point. So I'm like, do you care that you're doing it? Are you trying to violate me purposely? Are you trying to hurt me? Or it's like something mentally wrong where you violate your own kinfolk like this? Like, it's weird to me. So it's just like, from then on, like I just felt weird, but it was crazy because I seen a podcast of this guy, this bodybuilder, Sean T. He was like, the same thing happened to him, but at the same time, he felt like a closeness. So I just feel like that was me too, because like I was at a stage where I was like, I'm vulnerable, and this is the only person that I can talk to about this, or I can deal with personally. Like I couldn't talk to nobody about it, because like you at a young age, and I just feel like now looking at it back then, folks weren't gonna believe you no way. So he was the only person that knew. Like I literally didn't even tell my mom till last year about any of this.
Wow.
Like I literally didn't tell her nothing, because I was like in my feelings about my grandmother, and I was just crying. I was like, I feel like you don't like me because I'm gay. And she like, why would you say that? I said, I just feel like you would love me more if I preferred a woman. And she like, this is not the ideal lifestyle I see for you, but I still love you regardless. And I was explaining to her, like, I feel like I wouldn't be like this if he didn't like mess with me. And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, like my cousin used to like rape me while y'all was gone. Like my mom, grandma, everybody like was gone. It was like me and all my cousins just like basically take care of ourselves at that young age. So my other cousin Jay, like he was like heavily in the streets. So I used to literally always want to go with him, like pleading, like let me hang with you, let me go with you. He never would let me go, so I'm like stuck at the house with this dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at a young age, what can you do?
Right.
Like, you know, I've been small my whole entire life. So, I mean, trying to fight back, I just feel like it wasn't even an option.
So when you are going back, in the moments when everything is happening or when you going through it, it never like, as a kid, you never thought like, I should tell somebody about this? Never. And what did he say afterwards? Was it?
It was just don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Like, don't say nothing. This is between you and I. So like I said, never did. And then like frequently up until like, I know I was about like 9 or 10. It happened for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, cause I used to either, like I said, my folks was always working. So a lot of my older family used to watch us.
Yeah.
Like I used to go over my cousin's house and he would be over there, or he'll be just over our house, like randomly.
Yeah.
So.
And do you know if he ever did it to anybody else in the family?
They've never said anything.
Yeah.
The only person I told before my mom was my cousin. I told her, I know I was probably like 16 when I told her.
Yeah.
Like, of course, me and her had like this emotional moment. But I was like, I just really feel like if he didn't do it, I feel like mentally I would be better.
Yeah.
Because I do, like, in my moments of grief about my grandmother, I still think about stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think about all the pain and the trauma that caused me, because I mean, I'm still kind of like angry to this day. I went to therapy for it like last May. And then like I go on and off now when I have those little moments that I think about it, because I feel like I'm still not really just over it.
Right.
Because I just can't grasp the fact that you would do that to somebody, like a child,
yeah,
like an innocent child. Like, I just don't understand it.
A child, and you were helpless. You couldn't do anything to defend yourself at all.
At all.
What? Okay. Now that how does that really affect you mentally? Does that make you nervous around males? How did that? I'm talking about not even now. It was just back then. Were you nervous around men or males?
I just feel like I was scared of him, of anything. So that's why I always like tried to like plead to go with my cousin. Like, every time he'll go with his friend, I was like, hey, let me just go with y'all. I'm literally just like saying, without saying, I don't want to be at home with this dude. Like, I'm trying to go with y'all. So my cousin, I mean, of course he looking out for me at the same time, because he was in the streets heavily. So he didn't want me around that kind of stuff. He smoking, he doing stuff with the gangs, and like, he didn't want me around it too. But at the same time, he didn't know what was going on at the house.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm stuck either way. Like, I couldn't even go where I felt safe, and then when I'm at home, I wasn't safe.
Yeah. All right, when you decided to tell your mother about it, what is she,
Oh, she was furious. She was like, if she would have known, she probably would have killed him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, she's like, she never knew that. She never had a thought. It crossed her mind about why I am like I am. So me telling her, she has a clear picture, but at the same time, I mean, my mom's like super sweet, so I probably could have told her.
Yeah.
And she most definitely would have believed me.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. That's why I feel like I have a problem trusting like people, or I tell you prior, like, I hate when I'm dealing with a man and I feel like I'm getting played, or you playing with my emotions, or you just like basically trying to take advantage of me at the same time. Like, because I've never ran into a person like we have a mutual understanding of what we're getting into. I just feel like your actions do one thing, your words say another thing. So I just when I feel played, I don't like that feeling. So I feel like that's kind of like a trigger for me.
Right.
Like, when I feel played, I just feel like I have to get even. Now that I have the voice to speak up or say something or do something about it, I basically retaliate.
Yeah.
But this is my old mindset. I used to retaliate, but now I feel like I'm growing to a space where I am like able to brush things off, like deal with them better, without like having to be low down or like make people feel low as I am.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure like it was a lot of anger there. You were 7 years old and it started to happen to you during some of the most important years of your life, as far as like the development of you as a human. And this is happening to you occasionally for 2 years. What ended up, how did it stop? How did it end?
He went to jail. He was in and out of jail like frequently. So it was like to a point where like he basically wasn't allowed to even be out of our house, because he was stealing, like roguish, like you stealing from my grandmother, you stealing from my home, because you like on drugs real bad.
Right.
So I'm like, I know you probably went on drugs at like 12 and 13. So I'm just trying to figure out what possessed you to do that. So I'm thinking like me at the same time trying to give people like that the benefit of the doubt. Like, did someone mess with you?
That's what I was
So I'm
gonna
like,
say.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, like I feel like it was still unwarranted. Like,
Yeah. Like, do he even deserve the benefit of the doubt?
exactly.
Yeah. You never had a conversation with him about it?
Oh, he's dead now.
He's dead now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, even prior to him passing away, you never...
Like I just, like I said, it was so much resentment. Like I just hated to see him, or it's like you can't. I just feel like you can't really. You have to, but you can't really forgive anybody for doing something like that to you, because it was like so many moments. Like I hated myself. Like you, the reason I'm like what I am. So I just feel like I tried for the longest to like date girls or try to like girls. It just like I just never felt like whole enough to like be a protector of a woman when I just feel like my own innocence was taken from me. So I just feel like, how can I be strong enough to protect you when I let somebody do that to me?
Yeah. Have you, so you really feel like because that happened to you, that's the reason why you were gay?
I feel like I got 100%.
Yeah.
Because like me, I know a lot of people said they were raised around women a lot or a bunch of girls, but I think I had an even kill of people I was around. Like I had my older guy cousins and my girl cousins who got the same age as me, and I hung around like equally. But I just feel like if it wasn't for that, I feel like I would be normal.
So you feel like you're not normal?
In a sense, I just feel like I'm always hated and targeted because something that was out of my
Out
control.
of your control.
So I'm like, people can't stand gay people or hate me. I'm like, do you even know my story?
They don't
before
even
you
know your fucking story.
Like, you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah.
So, but they see me react as an adult and don't think about my trauma. So they try to, I mean, of course they're going to see what I am now. Like, some people don't ever heal from this. Some people kill themselves over stuff like that. So I'm like, me, I feel like I'm still in my healing process of it, because like, I'm telling you, like, there are times I still think about like how can you do that to your own family member?
Yeah.
Like, what possessed you to do that? So it's always like, I have my little moments where I just think back like why did I let that happen? I should have said something.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm really close to my mom. I was really close to my grandmother. I really feel like I probably could have said something. But like me, I didn't want to. I don't know. I just feel like I probably would get in trouble because like I see movies where a lot of people don't believe kids.
Yeah.
So now I just feel like, what would have happened if I would have said something? Like if I would have gotten like therapy or something sooner, or if I would have, did something sooner, I'd probably be better now.
Yeah. What type of kid were you?
I mean, me, I felt like I was like I am now, like fun, loving. Like I just like basically like stay after that incident. I never wanted to go outside. Like I would just like play video games, watching shit like Power Rangers and stuff. Like I never wanted to like really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I just basically stayed at home. Like all my cousins used to go out and stuff. I was just a homebody. Like I just feel like it took a lot out of me. Like I just didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to be around people. Like I hated going to school most times. I'm like I was always picked on.
Yeah.
Like until like middle school. So I'm like, y'all really don't know what happened to me. So I'm like, y'all just picking on me because you see me from the outside, or how I speak, or how I talk, or my mannerism. Like you have no idea what I've been through. So
Yeah. So fast forward to now, you in adulthood, and you still battling with this, or battling with your trauma. Like when you finally, or not even to now, fast forward to like 18, 19, and you still battling with this. What are you doing in the moment to cope with it? Years later, because we hit this stage where when we become adults, 18, 19, we got to get out on our own and figure it out, and you kind of like let off into the world. How do you adjust to handle all of this at that point?
I mean, I think I try to stay busy. I try, like I've been working 2 jobs since 16. So I feel like the more I work, or the more if I keep myself occupied, my mind don't race. I don't think about stuff. So I feel like that's why I work a lot now. So I don't think about those moments of grief or pain that I've been through. I always try to keep myself busy. I'm always trying to make other people feel good now.
Yeah.
So
and you do that through your comedy as well. That's why you big on comedy.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was like something I read online. Like people who are like that been through the most.
Yeah.
Like
most comedians had a really hard life.
So I was like, this to me, that's true.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to like branch off into more comedy and branch off to making more people feel good. Like, because like people don't have that nowadays. So, I mean, I'm getting there. It's still a process.
Do moments like that or seeing stuff like that make you afraid to have kids?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, your family are your first friends and your first like interaction with people. So you can't trust family. Like, who can you trust?
Yeah.
Like, people, you let your kid go to daycare or anything, and you don't know what's going on.
Right.
So you don't know if it's a perv in there preying on your child or not. So, like, what do you do in moments like that? And then you try to help or defend your child. You basically probably could go to jail or anything when your child's innocent. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, yeah. And that incident or that tragedy or whatever you want to call it pretty much shaped your entire life. You know, you in a space now, and you said you still in your healing process. You out of your 20s, in your early 30s, you still in your healing process even to this day. And I know you said you were in therapy. Like, what other coping mechanisms do you have outside of therapy and work?
I mean, I really just tried to be kind of sort of an advocate. Like, I be interested to know about people like myself. Like, I want to know, like, why do you feel like you're gay, or why are you gay? Like, did something happen to you?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's like, I mean, the thing with most gay people, like, somebody messed with them when they were younger. Yeah. So the more people I see like myself, I'm just curious to know, like, what happened to you? Like, what's your story? So that's kind of like a coping thing, just to like find people who relate to me and understand me.
Find a village.
Yes.
Yeah, outside of your village that you have.
So I try to do that. I mean, I try to understand people. And like I said, healing, like taking the time out to heal now, like putting forth the effort to go to therapy, it's helping me a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's really helping me heal, helping me deal, and just helping me like look for signs of like stuff like that. Even with my younger like family members, I try to watch, like, I'm real protective of my younger cousins. Like, I like love them to death. Like, I always want them to be open and like with me. Like, if anybody mess with you like that, or like doing something inappropriate, please like tell somebody. Like, talk to your folks.
Yeah.
Because our family, like, now, like, we so close knit. Like, we gonna believe you.
Right.
We just want to know.
Right. Right. And you haven't told anyone else in your family, have you? Yeah.
Just my mom and my cousin.
Yeah. So this is a big thing for you.
Oh yeah. Like,
yeah.
I told her, preparing for this, like, it's scary, because like people like who know me, like, know it's me, like, it's funny, like, just making people laugh. So like, I don't think anybody knows like my trauma.
I would have never knew this about you.
Like,
and I've been knowing you for a long time. I mean, we went to the same school. I used to see you all the time. I've known you for a long time, and I would have never knew that you've been through this.
Like I said, it shaped me, and I just feel like it didn't shape me correctly. It just like it just left a void. Like, I still just be feeling like moments of like, why me?
Yeah, but the beauty of it is, it may have shaped, or quote unquote shaped, who you are today, but it hasn't defined you. Like, you didn't let that moment make you a bitter, bad person. Right. Like, most people, when your name is brought up, will say a few things. One of them is funny. One of them is honest. That's what I hear the most when your name is brought up. Funny, honest, and a good person. You know, you didn't let that turn you into a bitter person and turn inward. Do you feel like a lot of because I know you feel hate and anger. Do you feel like that anger, as opposed to going out to the world, you turn to inward to yourself?
I do.
Yeah.
Because me, like, thinking about it, like, you can't change the past, but at the same time, you like, I really should have said something.
Yeah.
Growing up, like, I really should have told somebody sooner. Because, like, it could have stopped sooner. Yeah. Like, I could have been protected sooner. So.
Yeah. Yeah. How does that anger manifest, or how did it manifest as you got older? Did it lead to anything, any bad habits in it?
I mean, I just lash out, like, to my mom, like, knowing she didn't deserve it, like, I mean, just bitter, like, then, like, people didn't know, and I'm, like, just always angry, like, mad, like, not really just, like, taking the time to internalize, like, that was, like, the main reason, like, somebody took advantage of me, and then I'm always, like, basically lashing out on somebody else because like I really feel like I wasn't brave enough to say nothing at that age.
Yeah, yeah. I think at that age, it's not meant for you to be brave, though. You know, it's not meant for you to have that level of courage or bravery. You innocent. Like, somebody took your innocence. I want to ask you, what are you learning about yourself in therapy right now?
To be honest, I'm learning like it's okay to hurt.
Yeah.
It's okay to take as much time as you need to heal. And just don't ever go back to that place. Like you have to keep going. You can't wallow in it. You have to be strong enough to pull yourself out of it. Like she gave me one exercise about like talking to your friend and then look at their trauma and then see that they're still here. They didn't give up.
Yeah.
She said you always use like the people around you as motivation because like nobody's giving up around you.
Right. Right.
So I really try to like keep that near and dear to me because I could have gave up.
Yeah.
Like, because there was some dark times for me. Like, I really could have gave up.
And I think that's important. I think that it's important to highlight the fact that you didn't give up. It's important to highlight the fact that you're even at this moment to this day continuing to try to heal yourself based off something that you could not control. And I know I haven't been in the situation that you've been in, so it's hard for me to like tell you something. But I would like to say that if you felt as though you weren't, you know, brave enough back then. But the reality is you shouldn't have had to be brave. That's one. But two, you're brave enough now to communicate that and talk about it and also grow from it, and you haven't gave up.
I appreciate that because I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, healing is hard for anything. Like, no matter what you're kind of going through, healing is like probably the hardest process in life. Like healing from, like I say, trauma, grief, anything. Like, so that's why I'm like constantly trying to stay on the path to healing into like, I don't feel like I ever be like normal again or back to that state of innocence, but I really feel like I'm straight in the right way.
Yeah. When he died, when he passed, was it how did you feel?
I can't even say I feel like I was empty. Like I just feel like it wasn't nothing. Like I just feel like honestly, like it probably should have been sooner because like I just feel like you an evil person.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I hate to be that way to family, but at the same time, like I mean, you probably should have been dead sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could look at him right now and ask him anything or tell him anything, what would you say?
I would definitely say you didn't win.
Yeah.
I would definitely say you broke me at that moment, but you won't ever again.
I love that. I love that. Listen, this is this is, you know, this was a rough one even for me. I didn't realize this would be that rough for me. You know, I didn't realize that. But I do want to say though, that man, bro, we truly never know what the other people around us are going through. You know, we truly never fully understand what's going on. And I think you're a testament to that and like a symbol of strength in that way. And I want to ask, you know, that you keep on doing the work on yourself, but also, you know, continue to reach out and find people like yourself to just try to, and that's amazing that, see, you don't even realize probably how many lives you probably done already saved. Not even just from being able to monitor the kids in the family and watch them. How many people you probably already been able to prevent something like that from happening to by having that mentality and attitude. And I think that's the silver lining and stuff like this.
Yeah, like I said, I want people to be open to have that conversation. Like if something did happen, like please don't give up. Like just find your village, find someone to talk to. Like I encourage anybody to get into therapy now because, I mean, that was like pivotal for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I see a lot of people who went through stuff like this. The thing is always, it's like an overcompensation. You know, one of the things that I seen Kevin Gates talk about it. You know, it was an overcompensation. He started to learn martial arts. He started to be extremely aggressive and violent towards people and stuff like that. You know, and I know you talked about, you know, what your response to it was as well. I I don't know, man. I just want to say I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to say I'm sorry. Like, seriously though, like I just want to, because as I look at you and I see you tell this story, I think about my own boy. You know what I mean? I think about my own baby. You know, who, I don't know. It just get me emotional a little bit. I think about my own baby. I think about like him going through that or being vulnerable in that moment. Somebody taking advantage of him. It just bothers me.
It's scary. Like,
you know,
and like times now are getting even crazier. So you just, you really never know.
Yeah. But listen, I just want to say I appreciate you coming on talking about it. I'm not laughing. Like, that's one of my things I do. Like, I appreciate you coming on talking about it. Like, but bro, like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I'm serious, bro. Like, it's just like,
I mean, you didn't do nothing. It's just like I want people to be just like anybody, just be aware of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. Like, just always like be mindful of your kids. Like, just watch for signs, watch for like changes in like behavior. Like, I mean, if you ever leave anybody alone with somebody, I mean, just ask questions or be mindful. Like, something may possibly happen like with anything. So I just want people to just be open minded with stuff like that. Like, it's hard that you can't trust family, but at the same time, you have to be mindful of stuff like that.
Yeah. TJ, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story, man.
Problem.
As always, it's a good time to. It's always a good time or a good moment with you. You know, having you on the show and everything like that. As we mentioned on the show, you do have a lot of you doing comedy now, and you've been doing comedy for a while now. And since I've known you, you've been a funny person. So, listen, I'm gonna put your social medias on the thing, but tell people where your social medias and all that is so they can follow you. Give you some encouraging fucking messages or something like that. Like,
Y'all can follow me on TikTok at Teach the Original. Instagram, heavy on the petty __. You can also find me on Facebook. My name is By Lance.
By Lance. You might want to make all them one thing. You might want to make all them one thing, so we can find you. But regardless, I'm gonna put all your social medias and everything in the bio. You can find the social medias and everything like that, and reach out to them, give them some encouraging words. You know, yeah, reach out to me too. I'm fucked up right now. Listen, I am uncomfortable. I wanted to tell a joke, but I couldn't tell one. But anyway, man, I appreciate you coming on. Listen, this is the ChoppedByT podcast. We'll get real, raw, authentic conversations. Until next time.